a year can be measured in multiple ways. If we want to count it in months, we can say it's as long as 12 months. If we want it in days, we can say 365 and 1/4 days, except on leap years, is what makes a year. If we want it in minutes, a year sums up to 525,600 minutes. And no matter what method of measurement we choose, as long as the method is standard, it will always stay factual. But how do we measure a year that gave us more than 12 months of uncertainty, more than 365 and 1/4 days of fear, and 525,600 minutes of worries? I would like to greet each and every one of us a pleasant day. Together, let us look back on the past year to recall the challenges we have overcome, as well as to reflect how we were able to overcome them. Firstly, let's go back to more than a year ago, specifically on March 12, 2020, when President Duterte announced a partial lockdown across 16 cities and one municipality in Metro Manila, where domestic sea, land, and air travel to and from Metro Manila were suspended, consequently affecting travels in the neighboring regions of NCR. Classes then were announced to be suspended until April 12th. But things didn't go as planned. All of our school activities were put on hold even after April 12, and one of them is the graduation rites, which was postponed on April 15 as announced by Secretary Leonor Briones of the Department of Education. By this point in time, it had already sunk into all of us that at least in the nearest future, we will not be going around things like we used to, and that we will be living a new normal. So, on May 5, 2020, JCI announced an online enrollment for the school year 2020 to 2021, which was followed by a study participated by the community conducted through a survey which examined the opinions of students, parents, teachers, and the school administration on the most effective class implementation and learning tools. This study helped shape the school plan that we followed for this school year. This was a reminder that the effectiveness of education depends not only on the students and teachers, but also on the parents and the community. To further solidify our plans for the incoming school year, a MANCOM regarding Learning Continuity Plan, or LCP, was held in the second week of May. This LCP was submitted to the Department of Education Regional Office. Continuing on the month of May, the first of our webinars and trainings were held, namely our teachers training on Nuwado held on May 18 and our 5-day webinar series on the most essential competencies held from May 25 to May 29, for we believe that in order to impart knowledge, we should be knowledgeable as well. Before the month of May ended, JCI had finally come to the decision to offer only an online learning program for the incoming school year 2020 to 2021. To further equip our students and teachers in the new mode of education, a 3-day comprehensive training on weekly online lesson and learning was held, titled Hands-on Training on How to Use the Zoom, Edmodo, and Class Dojo on June 30 to July 2. Come the month of August, and the anticipation for the opening of classes was huge. But before anything else, on August 17 to August 20, JCI conducted a dry run on the execution of the online learning. The JCI administration was aware that we should not be blindly jumping into the new school year. That is why the simulation or trial for all of the officially enrolled students was held. All of us are also aware that the pandemic has not only affected us physically, it has also affected our mental and emotional capacity. To address this problem, a psychosocial intervention program for JCI employees was held, which focused on mental and managing stress and anxiety in the new normal. This program discussed mental health, the possible effects of the pandemic on our well being, and provided tips on how we can manage turmoil of emotions during this time of uncertainty. On August 24, we officially opened school year 2020 to 2021. The start of the new school year was not smooth, and we trudged along a rocky road. The new school year and the new normal also meant new concerns we have never encountered before, such as the importance of a strong and reliable internet connection both for our students and teachers, the importance of being familiar with passcodes and meeting IDs, as well as other areas of concern voiced out by our dear parents. But we never forget to celebrate our milestones. On the same month, we virtually celebrated our first Buwan ng Wika in the pandemic with the Pinoy face mask competition for our junior and senior high school students. Fast forward a few months after, on October 10, we celebrated our first Teachers' Day in the new normal, where our pupils had a virtual presentation where they showcased their talents in singing and dancing. Months after that, we have found ourselves sailing waters that we have never sailed before. Though we are still making the journey, we take pride in how far we've come, although our sailing has not been perfectly smooth. To celebrate another year of being together, we held our 20th founding anniversary virtually on February 8 to February 11, where we continued the tradition of attending Mass, holding contests and quiz bees, and organizing a raffle for everyone to participate in. And today, this is as far as we have come. Let us all give a round of applause for our joint effort and perseverance in overcoming the challenges that came our way in school year 2020 to 2021. We had 1,120 students last school year, and we have 723 students now, which shows decrease in enrollment due to the pandemic. Even though some of our students transferred to public schools and stopped studying this school year, this number should still be celebrated as it is still proof of our huge JCI family. I would also like to take this time to commemorate our late former principal, Dr. Mario N. Basig. Ever since I became a member of the JCI family, he had been on my side as my colleague and a mentor. He left big shoes to fill. As his successor, I strive to fill it perfectly with his legacy in mind. May his soul rest in peace. On the other hand, for the incoming school year 2021 to 2022, the following can be expected. To follow the directives of the Department of Education, learning will still be online, and we expect that our students and teachers have already adjusted to the new setup and will welcome the new school year with familiarity. The JCI administration has also prepared whenever we can be back to having our face to face classes with social distancing and health protocols observed in our preparations. All we have to do now is wait for the go signal so we can be together physically but safely again. Nevertheless, whether or not we will be having face to face or online classes, health and safety protocols are still being observed when entering JCI premises. Face masks and face shields should be worn at all times. Hand washing, footwear sanitation, checking of body temperature through a thermal scanner, and going through a sanitation tent are also required before entering. Our classrooms and other facilities will also be regularly disinfected. And the most important of all, social distancing will be strictly implemented. I would also like to announce that the JCI administration is willing to help our students continue their studies. This coming school year, we are offering free tuition fee, free miscellaneous fee, free USB flash drive, free school t-shirt, free access to online platforms, free modules, and free delivery of modules to incoming grade 7 and grade 11 students. That is all. Thank you so much and see you this coming school year 2021 to 2022.